Hey everyone, Don and Ash here,
Hello.
back for another reaction video. This time we're going to be taking a look at another music video from NF. This is another song that it came out with recently called Hope. This one came out 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be on the new album. Somebody let us know that his new album's coming out in April.
April, yes.
I do not follow album releases, and I'm so bad at like even remembering any album names I've ever had in my life, which is not many, to be honest. But NF is an artist that we both enjoy.
Yeah.
We discovered him, like we said in our other video, our reaction to Motto, which was awesome, by the way. We said that we only discovered him maybe like 2.5, 3-ish years ago,
Yeah.
and he's a rapper that we just both enjoy.
Yeah.
Rap isn't really something that is abundant in Ash's life. I grew up
Yeah.
as a a fan of hip hop and stuff like that, and I've come full circle from liking like metal and stuff like that. Right? It's not like I've ever disliked hip hop. Still love it. And NF is just putting out fire. Like ever
Yeah.
since I heard the first song, we heard the first song.
Yeah.
We absolutely thought he was a great storyteller.
Yeah.
Period. Great storyteller visually, artistically, lyrically. So I'm really looking forward to all of these new songs.
I was like, yeah, literally everything that like seems to or that would encapsulate an artist, NF like executes on.
And his team.
Yes.
And
And
his
his
team.
team, obviously, yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna be. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's about it. I've enjoyed everything I've heard from him before, so I don't expect this one to be any different.
Yeah. So we're gonna check out Hope, and then we're gonna quickly watch his producer talk about how he made Hope.
Yeah.
His producer's name is Tommy Profit. So we'll be checking that out right after the music video. Without further ado, let's hop in.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me.
He did not go all the way out there.
I know you've been praying for my soul.
I'm like deathly scared of the ocean.
I'm like, bro.
Just for a shot, eh?
30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me
Wolfid.
I'm the reason
Coming.
we're stagnant. 30 years you've been claiming you're honest and promising progress. Well, where is it at? I don't want you to feel like a failure. I know this hurts.
I'm waiting for that drop.
I gave you your chance to deliver. Now it's my turn. Don't get me wrong. Nature had a great run, but it's time to
Dude, the
give
goosebumps.
the people something different. So without further ado, I
Where's this, New Zealand?
like to introduce my album. My album.
My album.
Hope.
Amazing! What?
Listening to what your heart says. Standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is. Tucking their toe between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can. Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left.
Woo!
Heck yeah!
Something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one. It's when someone who ain't never had nothing ain't afraid to walk away from more profit because they rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and gain some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in. They get it.
Yo, that transition was fire.
Oh, wow.
Who directed this? Gorgeous visuals.
Pain's a necessary evil, difficult to go through, yes, but beneficial. Some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative.
Oh!
Which on one hand I agree, but on the other hand, it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I'd never hit my bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. I'm a perfect example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. Took me 30 years to realize that if you want to get the opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself, sometimes you gotta be someone you're not to hear the voice of reason. Having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror. At least for me, that's what it did.
Dude!
Every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window, questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about. Don't get it twisted, that was in a shot. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running, 30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of faith, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of hate, 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never evolve. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking up. I'm taking up. Reigns.
What? What was that, bro? That was so good. Oh my god, that was stupid good.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a bit speechless.
I feel like there's so much. Oh my god, I feel like the number one thing I relate to, and the number one thing that really draws me into these is like the anger. Maybe that sounds cliche to say, but I'm just gonna be completely honest here. I feel like as a person who's held on to so much anger and not maybe it is resentment for situations that I've been through myself, and I really like. It's funny because like when I was younger in my life, I wanted to be I guess not a rapper, but a musician. So I would try to write lyrics and stuff like that. And one thing I struggle with personally is a lot of like self-doubt or self-rejection, which a lot of artists do, right?
Yeah.
And it's like soul crushing. It's like debilitating. And I really like in his lyrics and his delivery, you can just hear the anger. You can hear how he puts his soul and everything into his lyrics, like from the it's like who hurt you is what I want to like.
Yeah.
Who hurt you, right?
But that's exactly it. Like you can feel it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. One of my favorite sayings is "anger is a gift." It's one of my favorite bands is Rage Against the Machine, and every time I hear Zach De La Rocha say "anger is a gift," my whole body lights on fire.
I was gonna say,
and I can feel the goosebumps all over. That was bloody amazing.
That was so good, and it like there's a few times I definitely got goosebumps listening to this. Especially like at the last like section when he shows up at the mountain ridge. Like
I'll bring it back up on screen for us. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that was like the final, like it just hit home even harder, right?
Especially the visuals when it showed one side of him kind of losing it.
Right, and it's like, and you can see, freaking, I love the symbolism. Okay, he's so good at it. All his videos always have like so consistent with the symbolism.
Him and his team. I'm not gonna put it all on him, right?
Yes, that's what I mean every time I say him. I understand there's a whole team of people behind this that put this together too, but yes, the concept that this is so awesome and well thought out. And again, I love the symbolism of it. That you can see the black is taking over, right? The darkness is taking over.
The anger, that seed of hate.
Exactly. And like I love even there's this whole theme that was at the beginning of like I'm gonna call it his shadow self is how I'm gonna say, because dark versus light here. I think him being in the white gray clothes is him symbolizing hope, is what I'm taking from this. And him in the dark clothes is his shadow self that he's constantly up against and fighting against and trying to like defeat those inner demons sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I also noticed the cap that he was wearing said real on it. And later on in the video, when you see the older gentleman in the cell, he has that same cap on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, again, like the connect the dots sort of thing, right? And I also love that the one room he opened and it showcased that with all his like balloons, which we've seen in past videos, it's like tying that self in there too. It's just crazy the amount that he's able to, or the amount that gets intertwined here.
Yeah, no, I think the director, I don't know how much he's involved in the direction. I'm sure, he's got ideas and stuff like that, but the director and him have done a fantastic job of storytelling. The producer, the video we're going to watch next, has done a fantastic job of knowing when, like, these songs wouldn't hit as hard if the music wasn't as complimentary to his lyrics, I think.
Yeah.
And vice versa too. Like, the music knows when to build up. You hear the slow crescendo of the piano from the beginning. Your emotions are immediately carried into this roller coaster as you're going up. And then the silent break, and they take it all away from you, right? Or when he drops into the scene, as soon as it's coming up right here, as soon as his shadow form pushes him, you'll see that, I'm just gonna turn it up just a little bit. Boom. And it's not just like taking the rug out from underneath you to like shock you. And that is complemented by him, crashing down to the ground in this big like crescendo boom kind of sound. And I love how it just cliffhanger there for a second. You hear the white noise come in as if right after a bomb, you hear that loud pitched kind of squeal come in. I love how the music comes back in as like a kind of like a soft bedding.
Yeah.
To ease you in.
Yeah.
Back into the whole vibe. And then when that break comes in, when the beat comes back in, it's just like just right here.
Yeah.
And it comes in and with all these like polyrhythms and stuff like that, and it just is like, dude, what? So good.
Yeah. One thing I also want to mention for that same part too.
When he gets pushed?
Yeah, so when he gets pushed and comes through the ceiling there, when you hear that voice come back in, I was trying to listen to the lyrics because obviously they're very subdued, so I was trying to make sense of it. And I thought he said something about reality, but me thinking I heard that word actually made me realize it's kind of again, I think it's another symbolism thing where literally the guy, when he has his real cap on, right? Literally, it's like reality hit him.
Yeah.
Like reality kicked him down.
Yeah.
And like, it's true that happens, man.
Yeah.
Like, it just stops you dead in your tracks sometimes.
Yeah, no, I love it. And then we go into like the reality of the two rooms, and he's just like, nope, kind of hide that memory or or that is a reality that he doesn't want to go back to. And you can in the first, I'm gonna call this songs in 3 sections: the beginning, this middle section, and the end where he's at the hill, right?
Yeah, I just noticed the shopping cart there.
Yeah,
I didn't notice it the first time around.
So yeah, at the end, I just want to point out that he continues to use the theme of 30 years. I'm 35 years old, and for so long have I held on to my anger about the things that I'm angry about. And, him standing on top of that mountain, singing it, or at least releasing that anger, must feel so cathartic. And that's, I think, is what this thing is all about. Like, you hope to be released from your anger. You really do, because it's that seed of hate can be powerful, but it also can be debilitating.
Yeah.
So it really depends how you use it, or I guess.
Yeah.
But no, this was just God tier. This was amazing.
And I think that's kind of what got me too. Like I already said kind of in the beginning, like this last section is what was that final drive home for me, and I think that's it too. Like you said, you're 35, I'm 33, but yeah, hearing 30 years, like
you relate to
that's so relatable, man. Dang.
Yeah. So that was just amazing. I honestly don't have anything else to say about that. Very enjoyable. You guys will have to let us know what your favorite moments were, what you relate to, what was the greatest moment of symbolism to you.
Yeah.
What lyrics you like the best. How much you're looking forward to the album.
Yeah, I am actually now stoked.
Yeah.
Not that I wasn't, but
we don't really
didn't even know there was an album coming.
We don't really buy albums, but I'm just looking forward to every single new drop that comes out.
Heck yeah.
Now let's jump into NF's producer, whose name is Tommy Profit, talking about how he produced Hope.
Man, this is I'm so interested.
Yeah.
My brain wanted to say intrigued.
Yeah, your
but
brain
I
is
was
breaking
like,
right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm both intrigued and interested.
Anyways, let's hop in without further ado. Let's get it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Tommy Profit. I'm gonna show you how I made Hope by NF. This
This
is
studio.
obviously a massive song, so I'm gonna divide it between Act 1, 2, and 3. So we'll start with Act 1.
Yeah, it is
So
3 acts.
initially, the song started with just the short staccato piano chords, but there was a lot of space, even though he was singing between them, and so we decided to add the pulsing piano note that added some movement and tension. So anyone who's ever listened to any NF song ever knows that it needs to progress and grow and build and layer. So in the next section,
Yeah.
we added these short staccato and Colenio string hits.
I just want to quickly say before I forget, I love how the sound is the 2 notes he's using are not complementary to my ears. They sound like they're distorted, which really builds the emotional kind of how do I want to say not emotional confusion, but emotional I guess distortion of the whole video. You know, it's very like both sides are being pulled. Like
Yeah.
there's one note that sounds more friendly, and there's the note that makes it sound more dissonant. Like there's
Yeah.
dissonance between the notes.
Yeah, that's a good observation.
On the half notes just to keep the song driving and building. There's also sort of
that
a theme of
creepy
like horror
feel.
string transitions that we use throughout the song, using various libraries like 8DO case strings and Audio Imperia Constrictor. And then at about the 1 minute 29 mark, the song really begins to pick up and enters Act 2. So the patch that started it all was this thing I found in 8DO Studio Series Deep Solo Cello, and it was called Volante. Not sure how you say that, but it's basically this super short spiccato cello that I've never even heard before. It's so short, it almost sounds like it's ticking.
It just sounds like here.
And it's
Basically, what I think it is a violin.
Yeah.
Take a violin and you just attack it with very short bow strokes. I guess they're called. I don't know.
sounded super cool, so we built on that. So then we added like 6 or 7 more libraries, all playing that same arpeggiation, and some were ensemble cellos, some were solo cellos, some we put distortion on, and it just made it sound like this massive, wide sound of all these cellos all playing the same part. And then once we had that going,
And
in
cellos
order
are
to
epic.
grow, I added a harmony part. And then I
What
brought
can't
back
you do
the
with MIDI
same,
keyboards?
Spiccato and Colenio patches from Act 1, and I played this different offbeat rhythm, so it gave it like a syncopated feel.
Yeah, those polyrhythm things I'm talking about.
Then, to build the momentum and energy even more, I played this super fast rhythm on top, and it gave it almost like a frantic feeling. While all of this is happening, maybe most interestingly of all, we found this vocal sample that we pitched and created a counter melody. And then, of course, during all of this, there's big downbeat hits with low strings and brass and orchestra patches. And the piano's hitting hard. Act 2 is actually much bigger than I thought. So Act 3 starts with the soft piano when Nate starts talking about his son. And I started playing the same melody that I was playing with the Volante cello, but I was playing it soft and emotional on the piano. And it created this starting point for us to build this big, massive cinematic ending. So you obviously can't jump from soft piano to super epic in 1 second. And so we introduced these really creepy string beds that we found.
And there's the perfect build-up.
Yeah.
Right to the
That's
you want to
where
hear
the
that drop
full
so bad.
orchestra comes in for the first time. And so I added 2 long string patches, Spitfire LCO Vivid Longs and Symphobia long string ensembles.
Yes, of course.
And those 2 together just instantly sound huge and give it a big string feel instantly. You have to view
Yeah.
it like a ladder, right? And so every section builds one step higher, adding higher and higher notes and adding an octave to the string part, so then when you get to the top, it's this super massive, epic, cinematic, Marvel sounding movie score. So one of the biggest ways to get that big, epic cinematic sound is by adding brass. I usually add 2 patches from Cinebrass Pro, the Monster Low Brass and the 12 Horns Ensemble. And that's literally all you need.
Yes, of course.
And then I enforced the melody by layering 11 different string staccato libraries. And so when I played the piano, it triggered all 11 of them, and it sounded massive. And this
feel like-
whole time, the piano continues to build underneath all of this. There's no drums in this part of the song, so it's gotta be powerful musically. And then you add all of the big orchestral downbeats, and the low string hits, and the brass hits, and the big trailer effects, the hits, and the impacts, and the whooshes, and the swells, and the risers, and the swipes.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, what's the point of having a guitar when you can just literally do everything with a MIDI
Then
keyboard?
you're left with one final piece, which is my absolute favorite of them all.
Oh yeah, the choir. Honestly, like, you hear this, and my brain just immediately goes to Diablo. It just does. Yeah, no, that was
so
sick.
insane. Wow.
That was sick. I've never been good at like the software side of music creation. It takes out the love of music for me, just because I you know what I mean? It feels so robotic to me, but I love watching other people do it. That was awesome.
Honestly, that was really, really cool to see.
Yeah.
I love it. He's like literally just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I mean-
this, and like
I mean, that's all it is. You know, it's kind of the same when I'm doing like if I'm doing like just a random, like, some of my other YouTube videos before we started doing reaction videos. When you're in like Epidemic Sound or whatever, and you're looking for just the right sounds to make, you're basically building anything visual is about emotional attachment. Really, I mean, if it's a good watch, it's going to emotionally attach you in some way.
yeah,
And the attention to detail in this is what really gives you those goosebump moments, is what really, you know, hits you from like 7 different directions at once.
yeah,
There's so much about music in general that I feel is very bland, basic, you know, basic approach, and stuff like this is, I don't even think it's not exclusive to one genre. You know, it can be any genre, but I really just feel like the attention to detail and breaking it down by acts and understanding the visuals that you're going to want to put along to it, understanding the core of the story,
yeah,
I think makes the sound process and the visual process a bit easier. But still, they are masters of their craft, and
Yeah.
I mean, the Goosebumps prove it.
yeah, yeah, like 1,000%. It just shines so brightly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. It's just, wow, that
Yeah.
was really cool to see. So we were right, you know, in interpreting it as 3 acts, because it does really come off that way. Even if you were just to listen to it without the music video, you could still probably hear very strongly that it is 3 acts. I think that
Yeah,
just looking at it from an audio perspective, like, wow, that dude could honestly produce. I'm sure he has produced for a lot of other stuff, but I feel like he could produce for Diablo, because a lot of those, I mean, I don't listen to a lot of orchestra based music, but orchestral sounds are so epic. When
Yes.
are they not epic?
yeah.
When is the choir not epic? Like, even if you don't go to church or whatever, choirs are always epic, right? Like, oh man.
Yeah,
So, wow, you know, from the music video to a kind of behind the scenes of how it was done, 1,000 out of 10.
yeah.
Triple A plus. All right, take it and go. I love it. I love it. So I think that's it from me.
Yeah, that was incredibly enjoyable.
Right
I mean,
on.
I knew I'd like it, but I quite liked it.
Yeah, can't wait to see more of the new songs coming out. And we know that NF's producer has come out, or has released some other videos talking about his process. So I can't wait to watch those as well.
Yeah.
And other than that, please let us know your favorite moments about this entire song, the process. Like I said, after the music video, you know, let us know your favorite things about NF, the album, etc., etc. And yeah, just gush about it because I mean, like, there's so much to gush about.
Yeah.
Other than that, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. So looking forward to the next one.
Same.
All right, bye.
Bye.